We'll try skip. I find the mask is funner. Although it is dependent on your lobby. So for instance, from the mask we could have got Drac, Grandmother, is it? Or Dragon, not Merlin, Potion Master, and then some not so great heroes like Mordred or Moretti. So it's a toss up. But you do get two, so you get to cycle. Although my picks would have been Celestial Tiger, Merlin. I think there would have been a lot open. Water Wraith is good. We had the right things to back it up. Trojan Donkey and then the Darkwood Creeper the following turn with Healing Potion to back it up is pretty strong. You can also get hopefully a 2-cost. Yeah, 2-cost. 2 costs would not be worth it. We'd need another 3 costs that's better. Anyway, yeah, so Donkey is one of the stronger units to get early on because not many 2-cost units have enough strength to deal with it. You generally get the proc. Unfortunately, we only get 1, so it's not quite enough. Coupled with the Darkwood Creeper, it's a good way to sort of stabilize, though it is luck dependent on what you get out of the donkey. Generally you want so the merits of playing the donkey back here. Anything it summons will go next. Because the Darkwood Creeper doesn't attack. So actually, the early on does matter. Having in first, whatever it summons will go next in consecutive order, so to speak. Yeah, there's no real way to play around it. The Water Wraith was probably a strong unit to pick up as well. Very good one for them to get early on, especially with the Mad Mim. Might be an early loss. We do destabilize. Like that. And then we'll lock the Wicked Witch and Gingerbread Party, or hopefully a better 3-cost. See, going for 4 doesn't really work because we have 6 gold, so you could only pick up a 4 and a 2, and in most cases, no 2s are worth it. You'd rather split and get 2 3s. Skip doesn't really have the biggest impact until you get to turn level 5 and 6, because that's where units really affect your choices. So being able to find the key units for certain, build types. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So, the issue currently is we've gone with, how to put it, reverse scaling. So, our build is dependent on the interactions of the opposing player. So, Slay, it depends what you get to attack and kill. Here, we want them to attack into the Trojan Donkey, but not kill it. Or kill it after the Water Wraith, and it's disheartening because right now we haven't triggered the Trojan Donkey with the Darkwood Creeper once. Hopefully we can begin to stabilize, though it's not looking good. This is kind of why I don't like playing Skip. I'm not the greatest at his style of play. I find it much easier to generally fill your board and then work towards something. This sort of nitpicking what works best to try and stay ahead from stronger units, rather than, so quality over quantity. Should roll. There's nothing I really want there. Puff maybe, but yeah. The other disconcerting thing is the amount of upgraded units. So I think every person we've faced, Gwen was a given because they have their knighthood, Fates because of their ability, but generally speaking we've come across someone with an upgrade unit every time, which is not good for our health pool. Ugh. We need the gingerbread knight to stabilize. And we probably want the fairy godmother as well. Though we don't have enough good units to really take advantage of it. Trees appear to be open, but pivoting from here with the amount of gold we have is not looking great.
We don't have enough gold to buy that.
Ugh. It's really not looking good for us. Do you know this might be a wash? Doing a little better, thankfully. Vulture. It's 9-9. We get lucky with summons, it could be a bit better. Yes, we kind of need to. We're in some weird summons that, to be honest, is not working for us. Time flies would be useful, but I think we're too far behind. Especially since we're facing person first. I'm going to assume that they're very stable. Yeah. Unfortunate. They're way over our health threshold. 4, 7, 10, 11. If it's dwarves, share bear. Just don't have enough gold. Might do something. Yes, fancy pants. Into Lancelot. I don't think it'll be enough though. And our vulture's kind of worth this now. We could take care of the Shadow Assassin. We might have. No, they've got 2 Spolkos. Not happening. Should have gone with the mask. More my playstyle. Ugh, the loss hurts. I'd very much like to maintain 3,500. Oh. Pied Piper. Definitely more treasure consistent. Alright, we'll give it a go. Not really my cup of tea either. But you get what you get. The other options weren't that great. I think Mad Catter or Mad Hatter, whatever it is, should have a greater roll bonus. I understand the early on needing to be weaker, but especially later on, like either the amount he buffs in the shop or the amount he buffs it by needs to be better. I'll lock because I can grab 2 units next turn because of the spell. Hopefully we can trigger the Polywoggle. If not, it's not too big a deal. Usually you just sort of wait till you get a support for it. I think the next sort of balance tweak shouldn't really be cards. It should be more the heroes. Because there's definitely ones that have far greater advantage of the others. Like, for instance, Zelharot, perfectly balanced. Its whole benefit is that you get no benefit, but then you get an enormous benefit late game. You compare that to Moretti. You have a consistent benefit that is terrible. Like the amount of last breaths that have an impact aside from Friendly Spirit. Because the majority of them are summons, and in most cases your board is full. If you're playing summons, you've already overcrowded. So close. So its ability is not strong enough to me to ever make it a worthwhile pick. I'm sure there's builds you can get away with, but there's a lot better ways to handle last breaths than just doubling up 1. And you compare that to... the name eludes me. The one where the last breath's a slay. It's just, there's no comparison. Which one is better? Either guaranteed double trigger or a possible double trigger over the course of the whole round. It's far greater. These static 1/1s, again, you get this bonus in the early game that just tapers off enormously in the late game, because we're to the point where 1/1, even Grandma's 5/5 when you hit level 6 is arguably too weak. A static 5/5 to your whole board once you hit level 6. There's only so many builds where it functions well. Summons obviously, but if you're in anything that scales, it's not going to make a huge difference. I'll probably grab the Lion Mice. Kind of want the treasure. Spell. Not much you can do. Buff Trojan is decent. See, Pied Piper, its benefit is not the 1/1. Its benefit is the fact that you get 1 slot. That makes finding animal builds hugely more consistent. Like the 1 extra roll at getting a Berenstain is enormous in an animal comp. So it's a benefit that is, I would say, medium power, but functions throughout the whole game. The Fates, 3/3 to an upgraded. I would say that should go back to what it used to be. I think it was 5/5. The first character you buy gets an upgrade. That's perfect. A lot of them they've fixed so that the characters with a late game that are not strong enough have some sort of early game compensation. But then there's ones like Krampus where it's 1/1, and that's just, and it's 1/1 to a specific set of characters. It's just not great in any sense. Kind of want the pig, but again, we're kind of losing. We want the sleigh. Guess we're doing this. Going like that. I guess we can... Yeah, I'd rather roll. Look for a triple. Anyone else interesting? Jack. Alright. 2 health is enormous in the early game. But as soon as you come to level 3-ish, it's horrible. Like, to me, Jack's Giant is probably arguably one of the worst. Because attack enables Slay at least. Health, there's not many comps anymore that rely on health. Royals, possibly. You know, if you're trying to aim for them to die, so that you get your Court Wizard procs, but then Court Wizard has no scalability, and while Court Wizard's effect is extremely powerful, it's not a great unit in the long term. Right, we have something. The Polywoggle. Horrible. It's probably time to scrap it. Probably losing to the Fates. Again, it's another wash, and I don't feel like I've played horribly. Sure, there was some more optimal plays if I watch it back and figure it out, but generally speaking, I've capitalized on my free unit and my buffs. I have a complete board. Positioning, I would say you could argue the White Stag in 1 to try and guarantee it versus going for a double buff. Who knows? It's just a wash sometimes, and it's not a great feeling. Like, I can't remember what Zahura had, or if I've faced them yet. If you compare it to the Zahura, who should have no benefit whatsoever currently, is somehow won every match. It's just, sometimes you're just unlucky, and not a great feeling. And I swear you didn't used to get this feeling. Like, there used to be far more consistent plays. Tie. It's fine. It's not horrible, but we have nothing to really capitalize with it. Take the Gingerbread Knight, scale that. I think the Nutcracker is needed. I just want triples. It felt to me like earlier builds of the game, a lot more units had synergy, and they've refined that to a point where it's just not viable anymore from a game point. The fact that the shop is random as it is not player friendly in the sense that it's... For instance, I have these. I have 2 sets of pairs. Yet, I may go the whole game without finding the triple, or someone might get lucky and find triple. I have an earlier game where I played as Waddle, and I got extremely lucky. Here, I've got extremely unlucky, because, to be honest, I should almost have a full board of treasures. And it's just not a great feeling. It doesn't feel like a rewarding game anymore. So like now, I'm at a loss. My hero pick, his prize pick, it's decent stats, but at the same time, gambling with it puts me at a huge disadvantage to every other board, which has shown that they're ahead of me. Pollywoggle. Horrible. Just horrible. I almost feel like Pied Pipers should be level related. Heck, even like this shop. I'm level 4, not a single level 4. Copycat, decent. I have no synergy whatsoever, so it's a 2-8, which is horrible stats. Vulture, I'd have to sub back in my weaker units. Finally, a triple. Secret stash, I guess. I guess we're subbing it in over the unicorn. Might as well roll. There's just nothing going on. I mean, if I think of builds, viable builds, you've got monsters, royals, so are very tricky to pull off. You have Berenstein, which is functionally terrible until you hit level 6. And then Slay. So, in reality, you have monsters. Monsters, to me, is still the only consistent build. And I would love to actually test that. If I were to only draft for Oni Tyrant, how would that go? It's like there's units I could swap in here. Monster Book, sure. It's better than the White Stag because it's reactive. Time Flies could be decent. I have no way to buff it. It's only a 3/3, so it almost takes away from the Water Race Slay ability. Nothing there. Stats, I guess, the Juliet. Finally, Blind Mice. Anything worth redeeming. Guess the health, considering I have no summons. 1/1 possibly, and then I can take the Fireball. Just, it's not looking good. And again, I don't feel like I've drafted bad. I'm not obviously the best player in the world. But still, I've made reasonably sound choices, and it still feels like luck of the draw. Like, for instance, this. I could have won, and I still could have won, as long as I don't kill the friendly spirit. If I kill the friendly spirit last, I had a decent chance. But it's still luck-based. And of course that argument doesn't work, because again, I lost. Nutcracker. Fundamentally useless at this point. Not going to trigger it. Baba Yaga. With the Siren, possibly. But where would I even slot it? Guess here. And then you go there. I take the attack buff. Guess the ghost anyway, so I should really just be focusing on rolling into an Oni King. Maybe I can get some slays. But yeah, if we think about what's been open, if you look at each piece in terms of its base. This shop, for instance, has none whatsoever. Not one of these units is a linchpin, so to speak. It's not necessary to any build. Same with this person's board, who have clearly lost for a reason. They have a mishmash of units that don't synergize. The best thing they've got going for them is a Hungry Hippocampus and one Bo Peep. This shop. I guess the baby bear and the copycat. But again, it's fundamentally a horrible board choice. Because if I want to run the copycat, I want to run in slot 1. And if I'm running the copycat with the baby bear trigger, then I need open slots. If I put the copycat any later, there is a significantly low chance of it triggering. It's a dead unit in most circumstances. Should have done on the Nutcracker. We could win. Could help us come back. 3 big pigs. I would get 3 4/4s. Again, doesn't work because any build that scales off of Slay, it's a death trap. I'm enabling them to grow quicker. What else we got? We've got 1/5. Aeon. Not in mages. I can grab the River Wish, I guess. And I'm in like pseudo Slay with a front line of less than optimal units.
You don't have enough gold to buy that.
Just doesn't feel like it used to. And it's sad. This game was very enticing. And there we go. A very much expected loss. And that's the thing, you just know when you've lost, and there is no point. Anyway, thanks for watching. Less than fantastic one this time, but oh well.